What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dummy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another video, and wasn't streaming when this game first dropped. I'm actually thinking of maybe picking it up here in maybe towards the weekend or something, just to start streaming it again on Saturday. Check those out every Saturday about 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I loved Elden Ring. I never streamed it. I'm going to start streaming it, start from stage 1, play it on my PC, but I loved it. And we're about to have the Elden Ring DLC drop. That's right. Shadow of the Erdtree is dropping, I believe, this weekend, if not Thursday. And I'm excited for it. I loved Elden Ring. I need to get back to playing it again. But, people are reviewing it. Their reviews are coming out. You can come over here to IGN, scroll down, and heck, IGN, I get their shills. I get they give probably way too high of scores all the time, but they gave it masterpiece, 10 out of 10. I don't think anything's ever a 10 out of 10. Personally, I don't think there's such thing as a perfect game, but that's high praise. Let's not be wrong. Hey, PC Gamer, Shadow of the Erdtree is bigger than most full games. Hidetaki Miyazaki must have been pulling our legs when he said its map was comparable to the size of Limgrave. PC Gamer's happy about it. You come over here, Washington Post. Elden Ring again shatters expectations with Shadow of the Erdtree. The Verge, Shadow of the Erdtree reintroduced me to Elden Ring by kicking my ass. People are loving it. Heck, I have one more. NPR, Shadow of the Erdtree is confounding delight that wants to kill you with kindness. Everybody seems to be excited about it. Everybody seems to be loving it. These reviews are coming out, 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, on and off, but people are relatively excited. People are very much enjoying it. So much so that, heck, even Kotaku's Alyssa Mercanti decided to do a wonderful little review. And as you can see by its title, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree review. Massive, menacing, and magnificent. From Software's highly anticipated DLC. Could be a standalone game. It's just that good. Oh, man, Alyssa Mercante seemed to have loved it so much, but why would I be doing a video like this if I'm pointing out all these reviewers and what they've said and things like that and how high praise it is, and oddly enough bring up Kotaku? It's because Alyssa Mercante and Kotaku they just can't stop themselves from ruining something good. Heck, they put out a game review, something to praise about, something to be wonderful about, and think, oh my god, this is something to be enjoyable. Hey, Kotaku, you did good until you read what Vera Dark had to put out. Alyssa Mercante reviews Shadow of the Erdtree. Simply writing a review? No. Let's put commentary in there that has nothing to do with the game and establishes she's always the victim. She claims she's the victim of a near endless harassment campaign. When she's on social media threatening to beat people up for not agreeing with her, it's never, hey, I said stupid controversial thing people disagree with, now I'm facing backlash. It's always people are being sexist and homophobic. And that's what she puts in her review for Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree. Hours into playing Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, the massive singular expansion for From Software's award-winning 2022 action RPG, I realize it's paralleling my real life. Until Elden Ring, I avoided Souls-like. Their punishing difficulty and rigid boundaries frustrated me immensely. Yeah, because you're a game journal. You guys can't normally play these actual games that gamers love. So you usually, cry about them and say they need to be easier. But hey, good on you. You at least attempted it. I hit a wall in Dark Souls Remastered and gave up barely touching Bloodborne and avoided Sekiro like it was a poison swamp because you're not good at video games. In the real world, I have mostly avoided the ire of homophobes and misogynists in the games industry, writing an article that temporarily shakes them up before fading into relative obscurity once Reddit refreshes. But now I'm willing to subject myself to arduous adventure, running headfirst into a proverbial wall just to shake it off, back up, and run into it again outside the lands between and the Shadow Realm. I have spent nearly 4 months as the subject of a near endless harassment campaign. It feels at times like logging on for a day of work is akin to walking through a bus door over and over again. Can you just talk about the game? I don't care about you being a victim anymore, okay, Alyssa? Because you bring it on yourself. You go out there, say stupid stuff, then, you know, say that I'm getting harassed when you say a stupid thing. But now it's misogyny. My life's just like it's literally just like Elden Ring. It's grueling. It's horrible. Oh my god, Elden Ring is speaking to me. This is just like DSP when he was coming out here saying that the Yakuza game was a literal representation of his life and they got the whole idea from him. This is what she's saying basically, is that Elden Ring's is her life. And they encapsulated her life just like DSP said about Yakuza. Can you be any more of a clown? Heck, DSP is at least better than you. That's how funny and stupid this is. But it gets worse. It gets worse. Before I even make the connection between real world and FromSoft's game world, I subsequently attack Shadow of the Erdtree with dogged determination, as if besting a boss would bleed into my every day and imbue me with a higher tier of self-confidence, much like how it feels to receive near endless hate comments from anonymous accounts or angry middle-aged men. I face Shadow the Erdtree entirely alone. No multiplayer summons would work for me in early access, a feature I relied on in the base game, so I faced it solo, and after almost 20 hours, came out as Ranella Says Born Anew. Two things. Well, three things. One, you really love your big fancy words, because I'm willing to bet you have like maybe a letter count for how you get paid. I just gotta say, because there's a lot of very massive words here. Maybe also a word count. I think it's a letter count. So that's what I have to say here, because these are big words. For a bunch of nothing and just her crying the whole time. And again, she brings it back to her real life. She brings it back to what she's going through in the real life for no reason, when people just go to these reviews to listen about the game. Like, what you're seeing here is a perfect encapsulation of why people don't like game journals anymore, and people, you know, think you're all jokes. DSP is a better game journalist than you, and that's saying something right there. You had to bring your personal life into discussion about Elden Ring that has no connection to the real world. No, you have to force it in there. And then finally, I beat Elden Ring solo, never once calling in anybody else for assistance at all, and she just admitted that she needed help in several positions. So I'm better than Alyssa Mercante at Elden Ring. I'll gladly take that win. That's a big W for me. But again, let's take this over to IGN real quick. Masterpiece. Yeah. Such a great, fantastic game. What do we see? When I gave Elden Ring 10 2 years ago, I did it not just because it's an incredible game, but because I strolled into Shadows of Erdtree. I was some kind of Elden Lord badass, having defeated Millennia Mog and every other big thread around my level 150 character, yada. I mean, that's a good connection, connecting it back to what you actually did in the game. It's not just quality though, when you bring up the map, it's, talk about the game. Parts from the main quest, talk about the game. It took me about 25 hours or so to beat the final boss of the Shadow of the Erdtree, but I could easily see myself putting in another 15 to 20. Okay, talk about the game. All they're doing is talk about the game, not real life. Oh, PC Gamer. Let's see. It was one of those tidbits. We are kind of seized. That Set Souls series Sekio. Talk about the game. The WAPO, Washington Post, beacon of journalism, right? What? How do they do this? Electric anticipation for the game world as Friday looms. In the past months, the weekend said, okay, connected to the real world, but how gamers feel in the real world. Okay, everyone is sitting. Elden Ring has told a story of the land between, a world torn apart. Talk about the game. The answer are terrifying. Game director, talk about the game. Talk about the game. David Wapo talked about the game. The Verge, another leftist site. Let's see. In my first moments of the Shadow of the Erdtree, I found myself in a graveyard. Talk about the game. I have not stopped grinning since. Talk about the game. Most of the time with the DLC. Talk about the game. Despite the anticipation and deception, Belurit is a really pretty place. Talk about the game, the dungeon, talk about the game, despite the strength, talk about the game, talk about the game, talk about the game. Everything's talking about the game. NPR! My palms sweaty, my heart thunders as I scale, talking about the game. Talking about the game, not putting themselves in there and like how they're doing, being a victim or anything. When they're talking about themselves, they're talking about their experiences with the game. They're solely talking about their experiences within the game, not talking about their experience in the real world and connecting it to the game. They're solely talking about the game. How they played the game, their thoughts during the game, how they enjoyed the game. I'm giving both WAPO and NPR credit here, Alyssa. You know how much that hurts? Oh, but that's because, oddly enough, they're more of a journalist than you, because you just run a blog site, a pathetic blog site that's on its way out, and you can't stop and sit there and write a legitimate review without inserting your own experiences in the real world outside of the video game into your review, because you're that pathetic that you must do this. You desire this so much so that you have connected what Elden Ring is as like a parallel to your life. My God, you're worse than DSP. And that's not a praise. That's telling how pathetic and sad you truly are, Alyssa. And I'm over here just laughing the whole time because you've managed to make all these other rags seem more legitimate than Kotaku. And that's an epic feat that I never thought anybody would be able to do. But you managed to do it, Alyssa. Way to go. Way to go. Woman who failed at every other FromSoft game before and could only succeed at Elden Ring because she had help from friends. Oh, but hey, at least I've been able to beat every FromSoft game by myself. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.